member, Youth Versus Colleges Union.
I'm a nurse and I belong to the Royal College of Nursing.
GMB Northern Region.
I'm from the National Shop Stewards Network, which was set up by the Railway Workers Union, Civil Service Union and the Firefighters Union.
I'm a member of the Socialist Party.
My name's Alex, I'm a member of the National Union of Teachers.
We're here about things like cuts to funding for colleges, job losses, cuts to our students' funding like EMA and things like that, so I think it's very important.
I'm here today because I'm concerned about what the current government is doing to the National Health Service in the United Kingdom, but especially in England, where the reforms are causing great disruption to patient care, and the changes that are being made are bureaucratic rather than things that actually will help patient care.
I'm a council worker and I'm marching today against the devastation of our jobs, services and our wages. In the last 2 years we've already lost 250,000 council workers' jobs, and now this government plans another onslaught of another 250,000. So I believe we should march together today.
Different organisations here today, they're all, we're all united in the same front really. We just want the same thing, equality.
We don't think ordinary working and middle class people should have to pay for the problems created by the bankers, big business and the rich.
People are not going to accept their austerity measures or their ideological onslaught on our public health services. We're not going to take their measures of tackling this economic crisis by having the most vulnerable people in our society pay for what have been the mistakes and the greed of bankers, investors, major corporations.
It was a brilliant demonstration last year. Off the back of that then saw the first public sector general strike since 1926 on the 30th of November. But unfortunately, I believe, and the Shop Stewards Network believe, that opportunity was lost in building on that movement, and now we need to grasp the nettle once again in order to bring this weak government down, to replace it with a government that genuinely stands up in ordinary workers' interests.
I was here last year, and I think there was a lot of optimism then. A lot of people maybe thought that marching just on one day would stop the Tories and force them to change their minds, but we've seen that this government is absolutely determined to force through these cuts to help their big business friends.
Many of us are very concerned, wondering whether there is anything we can do to change the government's mind. But look at the numbers who've come out on the street. These are people who oppose the government's decisions. These are people who believe there is another way forward.
Because I don't want to get arrested. I'll do direct action, peaceful direct action, and I'd rather protect my...
No, do you think it's peaceful direct action?
Peaceful? Direct action is against the law.
Do you think it should be recognised? I am me and I'm taking action. So you're saying I'm somebody else and taking action?
No, I'm trying to perform an action and not get arrested.
Well, why would if you're being peaceful action, how can you possibly get arrested?
You can get arrested for being peaceful. I've been arrested for standing at 6 laying down in front of buses trying to talk people.
You're going to be arrested if you cover up your face.
That's right.
Say what's that?
You're going to be arrested if you cover up your face. Show yourself. Say what you want to say. You know, we're all here for the same reasons.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be booing us, God. I support you, lot, yeah? It's a diversity of tactics.
You're doing it because you're afraid to show who you are. We're not.
I'm not afraid to show.
We've been here today. We've been showing action against the government.
80 marches have achieved nothing, mate. What? Look at you at war, bro. Look at you at war, mate.
Direct action and causing mayhem is doing something.
No, the direct isn't necessarily causing mayhem, is it? Like shutting down stores, trying to grab the headlines. No one cares about your march to me. I want to have an actual peaceful discussion in it. I'm glad we actually stopped and we're not arguing and stuff like that. But you have to respect the diversity of tactics, mate. Like the only way, like the suffragettes, mate. They threw bricks through windows, bro.
Oh yes, but they had the cause.
We have a cause, mate. I've got a cause, and anti-capitalist, mate. Against the bosses. Why? How tell you? My dad worked all his life, mate. My mum and dad have worked all their life, mate, yeah, and been like sacked, and now I've got nothing. So like,
I've more time for you than I have for listening to Ed Miliband.
Thank you very much, Scott. Cheers, Dom.
Anti-capitalista!
Now, membership of our trade unions has reduced over the years, and as a consequence of that, our terms and conditions have also reduced. But it still represents about 6.25 million or so people in an organised way, which in itself is more than the membership of all the political parties together.
What would you say has been achieved by the unions over the past year?
Not a lot, unfortunately. I feel the momentum's been lost a little bit. I think after last year's march, then there were the excellent strikes in June and November last year, but it's kind of gone a bit quiet since then, which is why I think it's really important that we get good numbers here today to kind of get the momentum back up again.
It's still a very, very significant body of people, those who are in the trade unions. But I think there are some unions like Unite who've got their community membership who understand that we have to stand up for more than just those who are in paid employment, because some of the devastating consequences of the government's measures are going to affect the quality of lives for everybody, for workers, for carers, for the vulnerable, for everybody in society, for our communities, family and friends.
We've already seen that their cuts are hitting the most vulnerable people of our communities. They've affected schools and education services all over the country. They're affecting people on benefits. They're affecting the weaker sections of our society, and they're not good for the economy. The economy clearly is still in recession, and we're trying to say to the government today they've got to take an alternative strategy.
What would the alternative strategy be?
Investment in public services, investment in welfare, so that people can get back to work, so that we can get the economy growing, investment in housing, investment in services, so that people are working and we're providing services for people rather than creating a dependency on welfare, which is what we think they're doing.
What would you say to people that aren't out on the streets today? How would you encourage them to join the anti-cuts movement?
If everybody said, oh, I can't make a difference, then nothing would happen, really. There's a new announcement from the government that's going to affect somebody or other in one group, whether it's young people, pensioners, things going on all the time at the moment. So I think everyone, no matter what group you're from, should come out and support the movement.
Why not come and join with them, get involved in your local anti-cuts groups, whether it's a general group or saving services, saving your hospitals, libraries, social services. Get involved, have those discussions, and let's be positive, because there are alternatives. There's an alternative analysis of the economic crisis, and there are opportunities for us to actually discuss together what sort of a future we really want.
Lobbying your local MP, lobbying local councillors, making sure that the concerns that you have are raised at local level as well as at national level will make a difference.
You've got to get involved. We've got to defend services. We've got to defend our communities, because this government is waging a war on working people, and it's waging a war on people on benefits and the poorer sections and most vulnerable sections of our community. And we've got to come together and fight back.
To be honest, if you're a public sector worker or a private sector worker or a young person trying to get an education, there's only one message being sent by this government, is that you're in for long-term unemployment, low wages or poor education, and we need to stand together. There's more of us than there are of them, and in reality the real people who run this country are the ordinary working people in the workplaces throughout Britain.